The night the rain wouldn't stop, Daniel thought he'd finally reached his breaking point. The tiny house he rented at the edge of town had a leaky roof. The kitchen window rattled with every gust of wind, and the bills on the table were so overdue that even the ink on them looked tired. He sat on the floor, back against the couch, staring at the flickering candlelight because the power had gone out again. In the small bedroom down the hall, his 7-year-old son, Liam, was sleeping, clutching his only toy, a threadbare teddy bear Daniel had sewn together 3 times already. The world felt cold, silent, and merciless. And then a knock, a faint, desperate knock that barely rose above the roar of the storm outside. If you believe in kindness, second chances, and the power of doing good even when you have little, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to our channel. This story will touch your heart in ways you won't forget. Daniel hesitated. No one ever came here, not this late, not in weather like this. Pulling on his worn jacket, he opened the door to find a girl no older than 16, standing on his porch, drenched from head to toe. Her long hair was plastered to her face, her lips trembling, and her clothes clung to her like she'd been walking in the rain for hours. She looked terrified and exhausted. "I'm sorry," she said weakly. "I got lost. My phone died and my car broke down the road." Her voice cracked, more from fear than from the cold. Daniel's first instinct was to hesitate. He didn't have much, and every extra mouth to feed meant less for his son. But one look at her shivering frame silenced his hesitation. "Come in," he said softly. "You'll catch your death out there." The girl stepped inside, dripping water onto the old linoleum floor. Daniel grabbed a towel from the bathroom and offered it to her. "You can dry off by the heater," he said, though the small space heater barely worked. He gave her an old sweatshirt, one that hung loose on her small frame, and poured her a cup of instant soup, the kind that came cheap but filled an empty stomach. As she sipped the soup, her hands still trembling, Daniel couldn't help but notice the fear in her eyes. She avoided eye contact, and when he asked gently what had happened, she only muttered that she'd had an argument with her dad and ran off. She didn't say much else. That night, Daniel let her sleep on the couch, while he sat awake, making sure she was safe, and that she didn't vanish as suddenly as she appeared. He wasn't sure what story lay behind her silence, but something about her vulnerability reminded him of his late wife, and how everything had fallen apart after she died. He knew what it felt like to have nowhere to go. The next morning, sunlight finally broke through the clouds. Daniel woke early to make oatmeal, plain but warm. The girl woke up slowly, blinking in confusion as though she couldn't quite believe where she was. Liam, curious and full of childish warmth, peeked around the corner, clutching his teddy bear. "Dad, who's that?" he whispered. Daniel smiled faintly. "Someone who needed help, buddy." The girl smiled back, shyly. "I'm Emma," she said softly. "Thanks for letting me stay." For a few moments, it felt almost normal. The 3 of them sitting at the table, steam rising from their bowls, the sound of spoons clinking gently. But when Emma looked around the tiny home, the cracked walls, the worn-out furniture, the stack of bills Daniel tried to hide, her expression changed. Not with judgment, but with quiet sadness. "You really helped me," she said, "even when you didn't have to." Daniel just shrugged. "Sometimes the world's not kind, so when we can be, we should." As the day went on, Daniel helped Emma call for a tow truck, though it took hours for one to arrive. She insisted she'd pay him back, but Daniel laughed it off. "Just promise you'll get home safe," he said. But before she left, Emma hesitated at the door. "Can I ask, why do you live like this? You work so hard, but it seems like you're struggling." Daniel smiled sadly. "Because life doesn't always give you what you deserve. But I've got my boy, and that's enough for me." She looked at him for a long time, her eyes glistening as if she wanted to say more. But she didn't. She thanked him again, then stepped out into the sunlight, waving goodbye to Liam before leaving in the tow truck. Daniel didn't think much of it after that. Just another soul passing through, another act of kindness that would fade into memory. But 3 days later, everything changed. Daniel was at work, a small auto repair shop, when a black SUV pulled up outside. Out stepped a man in a tailored suit, his face stern, his expression unreadable. Everyone in the shop turned to look. People like that didn't come to places like this. The man walked straight towards Daniel. "Are you Daniel Reed?" he asked. Daniel wiped his hands on a rag and nodded. "Yeah, something wrong?" The man's expression softened slightly. "You let my daughter stay with you, Emma. She told me everything." Daniel blinked, uncertain. "She's your daughter?" He nodded, exhaling deeply. "She ran away after a fight. We couldn't find her for hours. I don't even want to imagine what could have happened if she hadn't found someone like you." He paused, studying Daniel's modest surroundings. "She said you treated her kindly, like family." Daniel felt awkward. "I just did what anyone would have done." But the man shook his head. "Not anyone would have done that. Not in this world." That night, when Daniel got home, Liam ran up to him with a huge grin. Dad, there's a fancy car outside." Outside, parked by the curb, was the same black SUV. Emma stepped out, smiling, this time in a neat dress, her hair brushed and shining. She ran to Daniel and hugged him tightly. "I wanted to thank you properly," she said. "And my dad, he wanted to see where we could help." Daniel frowned, unsure. "Help?" Her father stepped forward, holding an envelope. "I don't know how to repay what you did, but maybe this can ease some of your burdens." Daniel hesitated, staring at the envelope. Inside was a check, more money than he'd seen in years, enough to pay off his debts, fix his house, and maybe even start a better life. But pride burned in his chest. "I can't take this," he said quietly. "I didn't help her for money." The man smiled faintly. "I know. That's why you deserve it." He placed the envelope on the porch railing and left, leaving Daniel speechless. Emma waved one last time before they drove off, and for a long moment, Daniel just stood there, with the sound of the wind in the trees. He didn't touch the envelope for days. He didn't want to believe that kindness should have a price. But as the week went on, the bills piled higher, and Liam's shoes wore thinner. He finally opened it. It wasn't just a check. It was a letter, too. "Mr. Reed, you reminded me and my daughter that goodness still exists without expectation. You taught her more in one night than I did in years. Please don't see this as payment, but as a chance for you to live with the dignity you've already earned. Matthew Cole." Daniel didn't cry easily, but that night he did, quietly as Liam slept beside him. He looked around their small home and whispered, "Maybe kindness really does come around." Weeks later, Daniel's life began to change. He used part of the money to repair the roof, fix the wiring, and buy Liam new clothes. He didn't splurge. He invested in what mattered. He even managed to open a small independent workshop of his own, a dream he'd buried long ago. It wasn't grand, but it was his. Then, one afternoon, as he was closing the shop, a familiar voice called out, "Need any help, Mr. Mechanic?" He turned to see Emma, smiling, this time in neat dress, her hair brushed and shining. She ran to Daniel and hugged him tightly. "I wanted to thank you properly," she said. "And my dad, he wanted to see where we could help." Daniel frowned, unsure. "Help?" Her father stepped forward, holding an envelope. "I don't know how to repay what you did, but maybe I can let Emma help out here, learn some skills, and see how hard you work." Daniel hesitated. She's too young to work in a shop like this. Emma grinned. I can help take care of Liam after school. And every now and then, I can bring you some coffee when you're busy. Daniel laughed. Are you sure you want to trade luxury for oil stains and busted engines? She grinned. You'd be surprised how much I've got to learn. And just like that, something beautiful began to grow. Not romance, but a bond built on gratitude, respect, and the kind of understanding that crosses every divide. Emma became like a big sister to Liam, often coming by to help with homework or to bring him some groceries when Daniel wasn't looking. Her father, Matthew, occasionally stopped by too. His demeanor softened each time until the walls around his heart slowly broke down. Months passed, and Daniel realized that the stormy night had been a turning point